All righty. Well, we are going to go ahead and get started with
Better.
our online clinic tonight, and I'm excited to uh, be introducing a great friend and colleague of mine, Lisa Prather of the Prather Practice. She is going to be leading us in a conversation tonight about ways to not let the COVID-19 get the best of us. And all of us know that we've been in quite a mess and quite a bit of chaos lately. So Lisa's going to share her wisdom and just her beautiful, calm presence that I absolutely love. And Lisa, you ready to take it away?
I am ready.
All right.
Thanks, Angie. Well, when Angie said, what topic did I want to talk about? The first thing that came to mind is the COVID-19, and what are some ways to not let it get the best of us? And um, I feel like we're all on this airplane with really strong turbulence. And you know what happens when you got really strong turbulence? Everybody gets quiet. And that's how I've been feeling. And so these are just some things that have helped me, and hopefully they'll help you. The first one is back away from the bad news. We don't want to bury our heads in the sand during this. We want to get the facts. But for me, it really helps to just take them in small dosages. We don't need to hear every press conference or, everything, all the bad news at one time. In fact, our bodies and our minds can't handle constant negativity. So putting it on pause. I know for me, social media, we are formed by our rhythms, and the constant scrolling of news and bad news can lead to despair. And I was talking to my daughter, who's a nurse in a Chicago hospital, downtown Chicago, and she wears her scrubs on her way to work. And she was taking the train, but she was the only one on the train and didn't feel safe. And so my husband and I decided we're going to pay for an Uber, have an Uber pick you up and bring you home from the hospital. But there's been a few times where the Uber won't pick her up because she's in her scrubs. And right away, that mama bear came out, and um, I got angry and I wanted to post something. And then I stopped myself and I said, what would be the purpose putting this out on social media? Why would I do that? And so I want to be, part of the solution and not the problem. So that's number one, back away from the bad news. Number two, reach out toward community. And someone had described empathy as getting in the hula hoop with somebody. And I really liked that. Just, someone in their hula hoop, and you're going to get right in that hula hoop with them. And I'm hearing the words social isolation a lot. It's, physical isolation, not social isolation. And in fact, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm so thankful for technology right now. The Zoom calls, we can do this. I know with my family, we're doing a group Zoom call once a week. We're more connected than we've ever been with my brothers from Michigan and their wives, my dad down in Florida and his wife. We're able to come together weekly. So we've been enjoying that. Checking on our neighbors, our next door neighbor. They have 3 little ones, but he took the time to call me when he was heading to the store and asked if I needed anything, which was such a great feeling that someone, my neighbor had my back. On the other side of us, we have a widower who lives alone, and we've been checking on him and calling him every time I go to the store. And he actually needed something the last time I went, and that felt really good to help him out. I know right now our homeless shelters are in great need. Wheeler Rescue Mission, downtown Indianapolis, they are in huge need. My husband and I were able to get a large dividend check, and we were able to just sign that over to Wheeler Rescue Mission, and it just felt really good to help them out. Our single moms with kids right now, we have a friend who's a single mom with a child and no job, and we're able to order her groceries online and have them delivered right to her house. Writing letters to healthcare providers. I'm going to mention my daughter again in Chicago. Her friends made her a gift basket. Her and her roommate are both nurses, and they put together a gift basket for her, and that just made her feel really, really good. And I'm going to brag on Jen. I don't know if Jen's on this call, but I know her and her kids delivered meals for Meals on Wheels. And I thought that was so cool that she included her kids in that, delivering meals to
And
people that
they
need them.
were actually really helpful.
They were?
They were. Sydney
That,
would read the directions for me because we had 9 stops that we did for Meals on Wheels.
uh-huh.
It
That
was
is so
good.
cool. Yeah, they were your GPS?
They were very good at it. We're going back again this week.
That's great. And that was with Meals on Wheels, right? I want to make sure I was
Correct.
correct on that. Yeah.
Correct.
And then just doing that
They're
with your,
looking for lots of people.
are they? Okay, good to know. You know, and that you did that with your children, because they're watching us, they're watching to see how we're responding to this COVID-19, if we're reaching out to our community. I know, you know, when we're anxious, depression, we can tend to look inward instead of outward. And really, this is the time we're seeing a lot more unity during this. I'm not hearing so much of the political bashing. um, Hopefully that slowed down a lot, but it's really a time to reconnect with people. I just reconnected with a friend from college, which was a long time ago, and we're reconnected because of this. She found us on our radio show, so that's neat. I also saw on my Facebook, people are egging people, meaning they're delivering Easter eggs and hiding them in people's front yards for their family to find. Which, you know, now Easter's going to be this Sunday, so that's a really neat idea. So, and number 3, rest in new rhythms of work and play. You know, routine might be out the window for you. It isn't for me. We are small business owners, my husband and I, and we are essential. We are in healthcare business. And so we feel like we're working harder than we ever have. Our staff, we have less staff, so we have to make up for that. Um, we we are filling out all our applications, and if you're a small business owner, you're probably doing the same thing, and that takes a lot of time. But if you're working from home, that doesn't mean 24/7. You know, make sure you're taking a break, put the laptop down, put the phone down. It's really important to rest right now and get plenty of sleep. That helps the immune system. I know today was a little tougher day for me. I was in the office, felt really sluggish. So before I did this Zoom call, I took a nap, and I don't feel guilty about it one bit. So it's important to take naps. I think during a crisis, we try to convince ourselves that we're not allowed to have fun or take care of our bodies, and it's really important. In fact, laughter increases white blood cell counts. So I don't know for you, for me, my go-to is Modern Family. I love that show. It makes me laugh. Jimmy Fallon makes me laugh, and his show is coming out of his house, and his 2 little daughters are climbing all over him, and that just makes me happy to watch. So it's okay. It's okay to have fun. It's okay. Right now is an important time to work on our health. Maybe it's a time to start a book, a new book, or if you have a book club, you can meet on Zoom like we're meeting. Board games, get those board games out. Puzzles are a big deal. I don't even know if you can get puzzles because so many people are doing puzzles right now. And then getting outside. As I drove home from work, there were people walking, running, biking, seeing family units together, walking together. Just made my heart warm to just see that. When that sun shines, and it doesn't do it enough as far as I'm concerned here, but when it does, just have your face heading toward that sun, just all that vitamin D, it will be helpful. And then find space. Now is the time to find space to rest, relax, enjoy leisure, and breathe. And if you've heard me talk before, I always talk about breathing. The deeper we breathe, the better. And it's important to do that right now, to keep breathing deeply. And then 4th, refocus on what you can control. You know, we can't control this invisible virus. We can't control the economy. We don't know how long it'll last. Nobody knows. So there's a lot of uncertainty. And the Bible uses the phrase fear not 365 times. And that's a fear not for every day of the year. So we are going to fear, but it's what we do next that matters. You know, when we fear, where are we choosing to go from there? Are we going to faith and trust, or to despair and anxiety? You know, I was thinking faith is based on a creator we can't see, just like the virus. So where are we putting our hope in right now? A friend sent this to me. There are 6 daily quarantine questions, and she puts it up on her refrigerator. And I really like these, something that she asks herself every day. And the first one is, what am I grateful for today? And I know a lot of people keep a gratitude journal, but there's always something we can find that we're grateful for. Like today, that sun shining, I was grateful for. I'm grateful when I can spend time with my 2 grandsons. In fact, I'm keeping a journal for them. They're 3 and 1 years old. They won't remember COVID-19. And so I'm keeping a journal and a gratitude journal for them. Number 2, who am I connecting with or checking in on today? And we talked about that. Number 3, how am I getting outside? It's really important to get outside. 4, how am I moving my body today? It's very important that we keep moving. We keep that lymph system moving and circulating. Number 5, what beauty am I inviting in, creating, or cultivating today? I bought bird feeders last year. In fact, they call it birdscaping. They came out and helped me know where to place my bird feeders. And so any window that I'm sitting at in my family room or in my living room, I can see my bird feeders. And I'm making sure to order my bird seed. But when I see those beautiful birds, I think about how God takes care of those birds, and He will take care of us. And that's really encouraging to me. And then number 6, what expectations of normal am I letting go of today? So what expectations of normal am I willing to let go of today? Because right now, nothing is normal. So in concluding, I have a graph of who do I want to be during COVID-19. And this is a graph of different zones. So who is it that I want to be during this COVID-19? When we look back on 2020, unfortunately, it's going to be known as the COVID-19 year. So there's the fear zone. You know, am I the one grabbing toilet paper and medications I don't need? Do I complain frequently? And then we have the learning zone. That's when I start to give up what I can't control. I identify my emotions. I stop compulsively consuming what hurts me, from food to news. The food part really hit me on this one. I'm an emotional eater. I recognize that we are all trying to do our best, and that's really important. We need to realize and respect each other's decision. We had employees, 2 employees that saw things, you know, this whole COVID-19 thing differently. Some felt like they were being socially responsible by staying home. One felt that they were being socially responsible by, you know, coming in and taking care of the patient, and we needed to respect that and know that they were everybody's trying their best. And then the growth zone. I think of others and see how to help them. I live in the present and focus on the future. I make my talents available to those who need them, and I thank and appreciate others. And so I want to just thank someone, Angie Nettle, for allowing me to do this and share this and think through all of this, and for believing in me and being my prayer partner. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. That was awesome. And I love all of the different ways that you brought up that we can be focusing on the opportunities instead of the obstacles that we've been facing with COVID-19. And I wonder if we could just check in with everyone who has called in. You know, what are some of the thoughts or questions or comments that you have about some of the wisdom that Lisa shared? So I'll give you a moment to think about that. And you know, if you have a thought, if something that she said just sparked a thought in you, or said, "Oh, I'm going to try that," or you can relate to some of the things that she said, go ahead and share now, and you can just speak that out loud.
I like the one that really caught my attention was probably one of the last things that she said was, what expectations of normal am I willing to let go of today?
Mm.
So I think that's very cool concept to think of, because we really are living in a different time at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, and let's take a moment to think about that question. You know, what might be some answers to that? I'll tell you, just for me, you know, as I heard that, I've been doing a lot of work from home, and my normal used to be, I had a completely different normal than I do now. And I'm allowing myself to not stress so much about the house being a little bit disarrayed, because we're actually living in it right now instead of working. So just not sweating that, and even just designating, what's not normal for me is to go out and take the dogs for a walk. And so I've been, as Lisa, you suggested, I thought that was a great suggestion to get out and walk the dogs. I made the kiddo come out of her room, and I made her ride her bike with me. She fought me tooth and nail, but when she came back, she just had a different perspective. She got on her sewing machine. She started doing things. So I think that piece in particular is more important than we realize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone else, how would you answer that question? What exact word the question again? What was the question again?
The new normal, being
Yeah.
willing to let go of what was normal.
Yeah.
I think for me, a lot of the work that I did day in and day out for 20 some years was face-to-face. It relied heavily on face-to-face. Though I have to admit, the last 5 years, there was a little bit pullback from that. So I was starting to get used to not having access to face as much, but it was still rooted in face-to-face. And now groups that we would meet on a regular basis, we're all looking at meeting in different formats. Obviously it's Zoom, but or if you have a different platform that you're working with. And it's really been kind of fun just to kind of do things a little differently. And I was going back to the face-to-face model, but I'm like, no, I need to go back 180 degrees where I was originally starting, and start doing more on platforms, different type of connecting platforms. There's Zoom, but there's others. There's a lot of other different platforms we can use. A lot of my family is not here in the United States, and so I actually Skyped, and I found out you can Skype for free, and that worked really well. We had the whole family, except for the younger son, participated in that, and that was so cool. Where you don't get that kind of interaction by telephone. And then in Europe, they use WhatsApp, and it's anyway, it's like our it has a phone connected to it too. And I was trying to connect with my cousin by phone, but we ended up Skyping. But she was over at her mom's, and she called me with WhatsApp. So I was able to talk to my great aunt, and she's my grandma's sister. And that meant, because she's the only one I have left. So that meant a lot to me. But we kept exploring different ways to communicate. And I feel, and it's just really powerful. My girls' night out group, we usually drive somewhere and we usually drive to Anderson because one's in Fort Wayne, but we had a Zoom call on Sunday. So it's really cool how you can start to reconnect in different formats.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Yeah.
husbands got involved with the girls' night out now, and that was kind of fun. They were able to say hi and interact, which, you know, they never come to our girls' night out. So it is, and we see them only at the holidays, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really forcing us to go out of our comfort zone and find different ways to connect.
Yeah.
All right. So how about the rest of you? Is there something that Lisa spoke about, a fact, an idea, or even something that you just saw on the graph that she presented that just stood out to you?
Well, I actually like the graph a lot, and I actually got it last week in Italian.
Oh.
A dear friend of mine. So I needed to make sure it was the same thing, and I wasn't like, you know, because I went and grabbed my phone, and it's really a cool graph. It really, I think it's hoping to get us to start thinking differently of how we're living and we're interacting and we're relating. Obviously, some of the ideas that are going out are not going to be feasible, but I think others can really take root and really build better communities around where we live and interact with.
Yeah.
Well, I know that we've got one gentleman on here, and I'm not sure what your name is, but welcome to the Ladies Club.
Men are welcome.
Yep, happy to have you on here. Do you have any thoughts or comments about what Lisa was sharing?
I know that man.
You did?
Are you talking about me?
Yes.
Yes. That's hi, Dad.
Hi there, Steve. Well, I've been listening to this, and now you have to understand that we are in a continuing care retirement community, which at this time is observing nothing but solitude. We are confined to our quarters.
Yeah.
There is no interfacing. If it's to be done, it's to be done at a distance, and it's specified. We can meet in particular areas, but that they are taped off so that we know where the seats are, and we can respect that distance communication. And that's about it. We have our meals delivered to our homes, and all of the facilities, the swimming pool, the bocce courts, the tennis courts, everything is closed. The exercise rooms, and it's just not available.
Yeah.
But that is what we accept. And so far, the management company has done a fantastic job, because there was one particular resident that was asking for a test, and she took the test, and it was found to be negative. And there is, they're doing their job, and we're complying with their needs, and but yet, we do join in conversations with the kids when we interface with them over Facebook and that type of thing. But at this time, we're very much in 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 our own quarters, and and
Now you're
doing a lot
getting
of
out
fun.
walking, right, Dad?
Well, we are, yes.
Yeah.
We get out walking 2 or 3 times a day, and we have a nice campus. It's 625 acres, and
Wow.
there are walking paths and cart paths, and we do have an 18-hole par 3 golf course that we can play golf on at any time during the day. It is closed on Mondays, but during the day, during those other 6 days, we can play to our heart's content. But we still have to respect the distance criteria, and we understand that, and it's a very social community, and it's hard to believe that that this is what is needed at this point, because the COVID-19 is reaching the peak right now, and they're even more on us to make sure that we stay within the allotted distances if we're going to communicate personally. But they really want us to stay in our own homes at this point. and we respect that and we understand it. So that's where we are. It's a little different
Mm-hmm.
what you're looking at,
Yeah.
but it's working so far. And after it's over, I'm sure we're going to be socializing even more so. So,
That's right. And it will be over.
Yeah,
There
and
will be a
I think
time.
I think it's awesome that you're on this call tonight. This is just another outlet, a way to get, just to get connected. And we've got a bunch of clinics coming up, and you know what, Dad, you can come and join any of them.
Definitely.
oh yes, we would like to do that. Yes.
All right, thank
Trouble
you.
is, you do know we're in Florida.
I figured that.
And that's absolutely fine, because when we're on Zoom, it doesn't matter where you are in the world.
That's right.
Exactly. Yes. But yeah, everything's working out fine, for us, and we're just concerned about the family, and we've had at least one Zoom session that I participated in with the family, and it's been great. And we have been doing the Facebook, and that is super too. And the telephone works too very well.
Yeah, I never thought, and Angie knows me well, that I would thank God for technology. It's not my favorite thing.
You're not alone, but it works.
But it's really good for you to do this today, Lisa, and your friends.
Yes.
It's
This
I
was
think
great.
it lets us be aware of what everybody else is, what somebody else is doing and how they're coping with it, which is very good.
Mhm.
And you all seem to be doing pretty well.
Thank you.
And Lisa amazes me. I don't know how she can do all this with a family of two grandchildren. They're great grandsons to me, and do so much, and it's amazing.
Well, Lisa, we love Lisa, and Lisa, I really appreciate you doing this tonight. And I do want to give just one more chance for anybody else who has any questions or thoughts about tonight before we close our clinic this evening. Anybody else have any thoughts?
Can you share the graphic?
Yep, we can absolutely share the graphic. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and close tonight. So, Lisa, thank you so much for doing this session. Thank you for your encouragement. And we've got other clinics that are coming up. So hopefully you all have, I think that the ladies that I do see on here, I know that you've signed up for some other ones. So we'll see you on those clinics. We've got another one tomorrow at 9 a.m. It's a great way. We've got, let's see, who is it? It is Samantha Simpson. She's doing Fit and Toned While You Stay at Home. So that's
I need that one.
a great one to be involved with. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great night. Enjoy your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you, Angie.
Thanks, Angie.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye,
Take
everybody.
care.
Bye.
Nice talking with you.
Nice meeting you.
You too.